From the floor of the CME Group, this is Danny Riley from MrTopStep.com. The name of today's video, the S&P 500 futures and the end of July rebalance. I want to remind everybody that these are not our father's markets, and nor are these his charts. And I don't think that these markets are ever going to go back to any semblance of what they used to be. Tomorrow we have the GDP number, we have the employment cost index, we have John Williams from the Fed speaking, we have the Chicago PMI, and we have consumer sentiment. The high of the day in the S&P came at 2165.5 late in the day. The low came in at 2153.5 early, and last were 2165 even. We're up 3.25 handles. Total volume, 1.6 million minis trade. MOC, the MIM started showing 400 million to buy, and the actual MOC came out 1 billion to buy. And that's after a $1.4 billion sell, SPX sell, on Wednesday afternoon. Now, today was a perfect example of what I talk about when I talk about the three parts to the trading day. What happened in Globex, what happened after the 8:30 open, and what happens after 2 o'clock when the guys with the better seats show up. If you're going to tell me that no one knew that there was $1 billion to buy, I refuse to believe that. Because I think with the algorithms, I think they pick up on this stuff. And Goldman and JP and all these big firms, Citadel, they all have these algos that run these stocks up and down late in the day on the close. And like I said, I really believe in what the Pitbull says there, that there are people that have better seats than we do. Now, I think I want to talk about this. Now, back about 2 weeks ago, I came onto Periscope and I told people I thought the next 40 handles was down from 2160. Now, we've had a couple of attempts on the downside. We had that Fed day rally, the Fed decision day rally, where we traded up to 79 quarter, and then we traded back down over the last couple of days. But when you look at the overall price action in the S&P, it looks like we're making higher lows, and it looks like the S&P is back and filling. And if that's the case, and we get back above 2176 or 2175, and we close above there, I think it could be lickety split to 2206, 2207. This is the way it plays out. I'm not giving up on my call right now. I did buy some puts, but I'll tell you what, I'm not feeling real good about this. It seems like this kind of thin to win environment stuff isn't working at all. Now, the last trading day of July has the NASDAQ down 8 out of the last 10 occasions. The first trading day of August has the Dow down 12 out of the last 18 occasions. Now, I don't know how this is all going to play out. I think what we've really got to do is we've got to wait to see if there's any kind of walkaway trade going on tomorrow on the final trading day of July. Let me grab my other notes real quick. Now, excuse me. August, the stats show August as being the worst month for the Dow and the S&P from 1988 to 2014. And I've told people a lot lately over the last couple of weeks that I really wasn't really concerned about what would happen in July. I think people take vacations after Brexit. You know, people just ran out the door. These guys were stuck at their trading desks for several weeks before, at least a week after, to see the effects of this. And once they found out that there is no major effects here, people went on vacation. They cut back positions prior to it, and then we saw a bunch of money start to flow back into the U.S. Back into U.S. mutual funds, and that's been a big part of what this rally's been about. It's kind of like you want to buy Asia or you want to get long European stocks. No, I think the way this is working, money's moving out of Asia, money's moving out of Europe, and it's moving back into the U.S. So, I want to talk real quick about the election. And I know for a lot of you in Europe and around the world that you're looking at this stuff and you're seeing Hillary Clinton and you're seeing Donald Trump. And it's confusing and it's scary. It really is. We've never ever seen anything like this in the United States. You know, when Ronald Reagan was elected, they said, "Oh, how can you hire an actor? You know, how can you elect an actor?" Well, he ended up to be a great president. And at the end of the day, I don't think this is an act by either of these two people that are running for this office. But at the end of the day, I get this crazy feeling. I wrote this article for Yahoo Finance 6 months before Obama got elected. I named out all these reasons why I thought that he would win by a landslide, and he did. And when I'm looking at this now, and all this back and forth press that they've had going against Hillary, Trump calls her crooked Hillary, and I call Trump crazy Trump. At the end of the day, I think what we saw in the Democratic convention was people being forced into liking her. They started doing all this stuff about what a great mother she is and all the charity stuff that she's done. At the end of the day, I think this is more going to be centered on the economy, all sorts of other things, but not mother. Not being a mother. It just doesn't add up. And at the end of the day, what I'm really, really worried about is that if Donald Trump does get elected, I think he is going to start tearing down some of these trade deals, and I think the markets are going to go absolutely ballistic. So, as we go into August, I want to remind everybody about what happened on August 24th last year. A major, major downside event, all tied to China. Friday, the markets got weak, and then bam, on Monday, the markets made a low, and then of course we all know, I said, when we were trading down that day, down at the lows of the day, I said I thought the next 50 handles was up. But I didn't know if the S&P was going to rally this much. How could you know? But what I want to finish this off by saying, look, I'm sorry, I'm kind of losing my train of thought. I'm going to be coming back to do more videos. I'm determined to do it. I'm not going to let you guys down anymore. I want to let you know that we've cut a deal with Invest.com to do a three webinar series. I'm going to go back and I'm going to go back and do the beginning of how all these exchanges, the Merck, the Board of Trade, all came together to form the largest futures exchange in the world, its evolution, and where we are today. We'll hook up Brian Shepard down on the trading floor live to tell us what's going on down there. How is it really shaping up? It can't be shaping up very well. And the other part I want to announce is that this is outside of Invest.com. The Pitbull, Marty Schwartz, has said that he will come back at the end of August, early September, into the cave. He will sit down with myself, MrTopStep, and we will do a one-on-one, hour-plus webinar where we're going to be taking questions, talking about markets, and how damn unfair they are. I'm going to leave it like that. I'll see you tomorrow on the opening print.